A little match in Dublin, Ireland. Folks, college football is changing, and to have a football game before the football season starts in Ireland is just one more thing. That's wacko. And everybody's been talking about Florida State after losing. Some negativity, and so I thought I would try to bring some levity to the situation. Thankfully we did, because we got week 0 in the books. So if you got a week 0, week 1, I mean, it could only get better, right? You get real numbers. I mean, when you really think about it, Mike Norvell has been a success at Florida State. Any way you really would look at it, not because he went 13-0. Probably deserved a playoff spot last year, Florida State, because he wasn't Willie Taggart. In every sense that Willie Taggart is Willie Taggart, Norvell is the anti-Willie Taggart. The opposite in every conceivable way. Why did Florida State want the opposite of Willie Taggart? Because Florida State actually lived through Willie Taggart. Taggart single-handedly finished off a fading empire in less than 2 seasons. Taggart was arguably the worst coach any team could have. Taggart turned Florida State into a bad joke, and Mike Norvell was chosen to bring them back to at least respectability. Taking over behind Taggart was probably worse than starting from 0. The death penalty would have been an easier task to recover from. That's how bad Florida State had fallen. But Norvell eventually did bring Florida State back to some form of dignity. Last season, Florida State tasted the good stuff. Once again, a sniff, a sip of what being elite was like. And that, of course, was something of a mirage. Bolstered by the new college football landscape, Norvell actually benefited from the transfer portal. Unlike Dabo Swinney, he embraced it. He built his team quicker than he probably could through recruiting. He was able to assemble mercenaries capable enough to go 13-0. Well, sure, it's the ACC, but many of those 13 wins were close, and they weren't all impressive, but they were wins. And it made the Florida State people forget all about Willie Taggart, to the point that it reminded them of the glory days with Bowden. They began drinking the same Kool-Aid that Tennessee has been drunk on for 2 or 3 years. The Kool-Aid that they have a great coach. They actually think that's an asset. They may have had Willie Taggart, but now we have one of their premier coaches. Even if the players aren't up to par, we got a coach over here. That kind of thing. Like bragging about your coach as one of your assets can be deceiving. 13-0 can do that to fans, but Norvell is simply the best choice, willing to not be Willie Taggart. Now, what happened in Dublin, Ireland in week 0? That will probably be long forgotten by Halloween. By then, everyone will be raving about Georgia Tech. Maybe. And Florida State would probably have already lost another game. Suddenly Norvell's seat is getting hot. 13-0 makes you forget about Willie Taggart. And that's all they ever wanted from Mike Norvell. Make us forget Willie. Can Norvell be that great coach they know they really need for the next 13-0 to not be a mirage? Either way, Florida State forgot Willie Taggart. And now it's up to Mike Norvell to make them remember him. One thing is clear. Florida State has forgotten Willie Taggart. And because of that, now I think they're interviewing Mike Norvell as a potential candidate for their next legend that they feel like they're entitled to. And probably will come dangerously close to endorsing anybody that can remotely fit the bill. 13-0 does that to fans. Go ask LSU fans how they feel right now. They had a good team a few years ago. 13-0 can do that to you, but that's one good thing about the luck of the Irish, you might say. It may be an fortitude of great measure for Mike Norvell to have lost that game to Georgia Tech. How do you say that? Well, it sure made them forget 13-0. I know that much.